In case you are not familiar or you need a refresher, SPLOST stands for Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax. It is an optional 1% sales tax that is used to fund capital improvement projects, and it is proposed by the county in coordination with participating city governments. The county imposes the tax through a referendum. Tax is collected on items subject to sales and use tax within the county. And the tax may be imposed for up to 6 years, but the county may choose to adopt it for a less amount of time. SPLOST funds can generally not be used for operating or maintenance expenses. The only exception to that is roads and bridges. The current SPLOST in 2016 expires December 31st, 2021, which is why the new SPLOST 2022 is coming up. And something that was stated at the last Cobb County Board of Commissioners meeting in October, they stated that 30% of SPLOST funds come from funds outside of the county. So from visitors coming to the county and spending their money in the county. So that is a great funding source for projects both within the city of Powder Springs and across the whole county. See on the timeline, we are right in the middle, right before 2020 is about to begin. The city elected officials have been working with the county on creating a project list and identifying priority projects. They'll be continuing to finalize this list. At the beginning of 2020, between February and March, the county will begin hosting district open houses and gaining public feedback and input. Cities will have their list finalized by May, and the county will continue to hold those open houses. By July and August, they will advertise for the SPLOST, and then they will finalize the ballot language. And in between that and the actual referendum, they'll hold stakeholder meetings, and it'll be on the ballot for vote on November 3rd, 2020. So this is the timeline that was shared. It's again, we're going to be working in the meantime to finalize the project list that we would be submitting. At the moment, Cobb County currently has not decided if they're going to do a 5-year or a 6-year SPLOST or another year amount. They expect to finalize that by December 31st, 2019, so hopefully we will hear back soon. And they're also going to be deciding the portions that each of the cities will get of that amount. So I'm going to go into a little bit our working draft of our proposed project list. It is a very long list, and just keep in mind that this is a draft. When you see the highlighted sections, those were identified by our city council as priority projects. And you'll see where it says city portion and county portion. If there is an amount in the county portion, that means it is a proposed joint project to work with the county on the project. There's a lot of projects, I won't go over each of them, but I'll go over a little bit of the highlighted ones. And for public safety, as you'll see, the first 5 are the highlighted, are the top priorities. That includes replacement vehicles, a trail patrol vehicle, mobile and body camera system, renovate the storage area for training and community space, and a Motorola radio upgrade. Now transportation, this is the biggest section. A subsection of transportation is streetscapes and general road. In this section you'll see a lot of various roads and things highlighted. Road improvements such as streetscapes, landscaping, turn lanes, etc. So that's all throughout this list. I'll point out a couple of the big projects on this list. The first one is the Austell Powder Springs Road Trail. This is a proposed joint project with the city of Austell and Cobb County to connect the Silver Comet Trail through Lindley Drive all the way through Austell Powder Springs Road and going into the city of Austell. So that way, the idea is to draw people off the Silver Comet to downtown, or from Austell to downtown, and everywhere in between. There are various signal improvements listed on here that are joint projects with the county. The idea is to install signals at these intersections. Mainly these intersections have issues with traffic congestion or safety issues, incidents with accidents and things like that. So we're requesting to install those and having the county maintain them. And another big item on this list is the parking garage improvements. It was just identified in the short-term work program. The idea is to help address parking issues in the downtown with the parking garage. And again, just reiterating all the various road improvements that you'll see on this list. The top section is just a continuation of that list. You'll see that there are more traffic signals, striping, and turn lanes. Under general transportation projects, Each of these projects are meant to address different locations across the city once that is determined feasible, and that includes street resurfacing, sidewalk construction, and drainage improvements. And under the category of parks, facilities, and capital equipment, you'll see the highlighted priority projects include Linear Park, the build out of that, the re-landscape hill to improve appearance and reduce maintenance, install park entrance signage with park rules and procedures, and also installing directional signage, renovation of the Ford Center and lighting, and renovations to the museum to include painting, gutters, and windows. And then the two joint projects that are requested on this list you'll see is the redesign of the old Powder Springs Park to adapt it into a new passive park, dog park, vendor area, and a community garden, and also the complete connections to the Silver Comet Trail. Many connections are outlined in our various plans, including the LCI study, the comp plan, the Georgia Tech corridor study. So that would just be evaluating which ones are feasible and going ahead with those connections. And then finally, under the facilities and capital equipment subsection, the priority projects include upgrading parking lights to LED at various city facilities, replacing HVAC systems, upgrading windows at city facilities, replacement of roof to brownfield road buildings, replace columns at community development building, and the joint project on this listed is a Boys and Girls Club to work with the county to provide some sort of community center to the residents. So this is the breakdown of the list as it is in each of the subsections. So the total, if we were to go ahead with all of these, this is the estimated amount that it would cost. 51.5 million city portion, 10.8 for the county portion. But again, this will be determined by what the county decides, whether it's a 5-year, a 6-year, and what the city's proportion is going to be. That's it.